Hi everyone, welcome to another video, and today we're going to be talking about growing from junior to senior. And we're going to be talking about a specific aspect of that transition basically, and it's about the expectations versus the reality. Why I want to talk about this is basically because I think for many juniors there's a kind of an idea what a senior software engineer is and how they act and how they approach problem solving. And from my perspective, for example, when I was junior, I remember seeing senior developers as this all-knowing people who had all of this information in their heads, who can solve any problem that you came to them with. And they were like these mythical creatures who like packed with wisdom, and they always knew the answer to your question. And as I grew in my career, as I got older, basically, I realized that that expectation that the senior developers or like staff engineers or principal engineers are these all-knowing creatures that can solve anything is just not true. And I mean, like, I'm not all-knowing. I still need to use Google. I still need to spend days working on a problem to solve it. And like looking back, when I was a junior, yes, the problems that I presented senior developers with were quite easy in comparison to what I'm solving right now. And that's why I could always, I can always give like an answer to a junior developer when they ask me something, but these are also not the problems that I'm solving right now. So like as I grew, the level of problems got bigger and more complexer and more harder to solve. And this is also an issue because, again, like when you're a junior developer, you have this image of the senior developers who are all-knowing, and they always come in at the right time. They can solve any issue for you, and it's all good when a senior developer is beside you. But also over the years, I've noticed that most of the senior developers are just winging it. They're just like you and me, just like on a more experienced level, but at the same time they're trying to, just winging it. They're trying their best. They're doing their best to, like with the constraints that they have, they try to do their best. And nobody knows everything. Nobody knows how to solve every issue, but they've gotten confident in their skill set that they will find a solution. And but in the end, it's still they're trying to do their best with the constraints, and they just try to survive, just like you and me. So when I was a junior level, everything seemed so overwhelming. It was so much information, so much problems to solve, so much new stuff to learn. And as I became senior, like this hasn't changed because I still have a lot to learn. I still don't know everything. I still have to like figure out stuff. So when someone comes to me like with a really complex problem, and I'm like, oh shit, I have zero idea how to solve that. And then I need to start digging into like the concepts, trying to understand it. And it's the same way that it was when I was junior, just like a different scope. So in the end, like the junior level and the senior level, they have a lot of things in common, and that's what we're here to talk about today. So we're going to be talking about expectations versus reality, and yeah, why I'm talking about this, by the way, is because I've written an article about this on my blog, and I just decided like I'm gonna spend some time talking with you in a video format to discuss my points, like maybe elaborate more on some of them. And I know some of you prefer the video content, so yeah, why not record a video about this and maybe showcase you the path from junior to senior, and how it might differentiate from the image that you created in your head. So yeah, let's start. And the first one is that you will become the all-knowing person capable of solving any problem, and you'll be like a god to junior, so to speak. And as I said, that's not really true, because in the end, the level of problems that you're dealing with increases, meaning that like at the junior level, your whole world is like this specific task that you need to solve, and you're trying your best. You're like Googling, you're like experimenting, and you're then solving that simple task, which has like detailed instructions. But when you go higher and higher, the level of complexity gets also bigger. So that means you're solving, like the higher you go, the more bigger problems you solve, the more complicated problems get. And yes, it will be easy for you to solve junior problems. It will be easy for you to like give advice to junior developers about how to perform their simple task, but those are not the tasks that you will be dealing with on a daily basis. And that's one of the misconceptions, I would say, like where the expectations and reality crashes, like that you will become this all-knowing. Yes, like in some, like compared to you at a junior level, yes, you will be an all-knowing person, but compared to like where you're at, you'll understand that you know nothing. The software engineering field is so big. There's so many domains, topics, fields of expertise that you will never dive into. Like again, like with the current like speed of development, it's very hard to stay at the forefront. Again, we're trying, like all software engineers are trying their best to like stay at the front, but it's getting harder and harder. There's so many new fields getting developed. Like for example, like in the last 2 years, like AI has gotten so big, and there's like only a handful of machine learning engineers that are on the market. So like, yes, you can now specialize in machine learning and try to switch to AI, but again, there's myriads of other paths that you can choose from, and not only just in web dev, not just like in data science, not just in AI. There's like so many, and also like in those fields there are like different subfields that you can specialize in. So you'll never know everything, and it's okay. And you need to understand your limitations, because like you need to be not the type of person that comes into a room and assumes that you're the best, the smartest guy in the room. That's on the contrary. You need to come into a room and see what you can learn from people. Like be like a perpetual amateur, so to speak, where you try to really understand what other people know. So this was the first thing. Keep in mind, you will not become an all-knowing software engineer. Your area of expertise will expand, so you'll know more about the stuff that you don't know about at the junior level, but you'll still acknowledge that there's like so much stuff in your area of expertise that it's just impossible to know everything. And to summarize that up, yes, you'll get better at solving simple problems. Those will not be the problems that you will be dealing with. So like for some juniors, you will be the all-knowing senior guy, but on your level, on your playing field, you will still be like the amateur, like learning stuff on the job, and like just like doing your best, trying to survive, and basically just winging it, and trying to bring value to the project. That's the first one. The second one is also quite funny. I think it's quite often that junior developers or like students think that once you reach that senior level, like principal engineer level, you'll get to play around with the latest technology. You'll get to build projects from scratch. You'll be like deciding on the architecture, constantly like making like big level decisions on every project with the latest technology like that came out yesterday. And the reality is nothing like that. So most of the companies, especially big ones, have a lot of legacy code and very little new initiatives. Of course, there are R&D departments at every bigger company, but that's like a small percentage of the development. Like most of the times, when you're coming into a company, you'll be working on a legacy code base. You'll be working on like making it better, but not rewriting it completely. So it's like you already have a machine. It's been built over 25 years, and it has a lot of business logic inside of it, like many years of mistakes, many years of like crashes or whatever, a lot of weird flags, parameters on each function, very bad abstractions, and in the end, that's what you'll get to work with. I'm not saying you will not get your chance to refactor it. Perhaps someday, you never know, but you need to understand that the primary work will be done on legacy code bases and not on like latest bleeding tech technology where you'll be doing, innovation every day. Sadly, no, you'll be doing simple stuff, boring stuff, and that also leads me to the third point. You might assume that once you get to the senior level, you'll be like above the boring tasks, above the meetings, the dailies, the long emails. You'll just be like focusing on what really matters, and you'll be like this fully efficient software engineer where nothing matters other than code. So I'm gonna disillusion you. I'm gonna tell you how it really is, and it's complete opposite of what you think it's gonna be. So you'll understand that code is just like a small part of moving a big project further. So unless you're dealing like with a 1 or 2 person projects, you're gonna have to like learn how to make like this huge behemoth move forward, and it's not with code. Code is just like if you imagine like a huge elephant, code is just, I don't know, like the feet or whatever. Like that's the part of the code, like that's the part of the elephant that can be like represented with code. And everything else is communication, meetings, stakeholders, talking with different teams and making sure that like the vendors are aligned, you're aligned, your teams are aligned, your whole company is aligned, and everyone understands what needs to be built, and everyone understands what's possible to build, and everyone's like working towards this grand goal that the project is. And again, you will not be able to like say, yeah, fuck this, it's not my part, I don't care about this. Please don't be like that. Again, like we're trying to be good role models, so the project, like the whole project, maybe it's not your responsibility, but it's your responsibility like to bring value to it, and writing code is not the only value that you can bring. You can bring value by just, moving the needle forward. I know it's kind of like a managerial thing to say, but everything that you do proactively that benefits the project is great. So that means like, you're like, if everyone does it like that, being proactive and moving the project forward, then you'll have like a perfect project. Because again, like why software projects fail, actually that's the name of my next video, is usually because of the human factor. And if you try to minimize it, that's going to make your life easier. And that's basically it. And the boring tasks will not go away. You will learn how to cherish them. You will learn how to like utilize the meetings where you need to like align all the teams, their team leaders, and all the vendors, all the third-party stakeholders, like also the investors maybe. Like again, there's a lot of stuff that goes into like delivering a product or like a project that does not involve only coding. So keep that in mind. Once you grow, like from junior to senior, you're going to be like dealing less with code and more with people. Even if you choose to go to like principal engineer or like a software architect, it still involves a lot of soft skills, a lot of talking with people, and making sure that all the stakeholders, everyone who's like is going to be touched by the service that you're designing, is involved in creating it or like envisioning it. So it's a lot of talking, and that's one of the expectation realities things where you'll think, okay, I'm going to be coding, I'm going to be like focusing on making my code great. Probably not. You're going to be probably coding like 10 to 20% of your time, and the next 80% will be done like funneled into like meetings, dailies, soft skills, talking with people, making sure that everyone is aligned. That's it. The next thing that I want to talk about is as a junior, you always think that, okay, I'm like, for example, you just joined the company and you see so many inconsistencies, so many like inefficiencies that you think you can move, and you're like, okay, why didn't anyone do that before? Why am I the only person to notice them? These inconsistencies. Sorry about that. And you have so much energy, you have so much desire to make it better, to refactor this whole thing, because like, why are they still using this C++ when Rust is the new language that's on the block, that everything needs to be refactored? And as you grow, like you understand that change requires time, and the bigger the change, the more time it will require. It's not really a sprint, so you cannot like join a company and do a 180 and like refactor everything and assume you know better. So that's also one of the things that juniors have. Like they assume they always know better. Like all these old people at their job have no idea. I mean, like I'm saying that because I was like that. So I know that feeling. Like there was one time when I joined the company and was like, oh shit, like Node.js, that's like so bad. Like there's nested ifs, it's so like weird to write in that language. Let's all switch to Python. And then I rewrote some parts of the software in Python, like the small microservice, and then parts of the application died. And so like, again, I understand where you come from if you have that desire to rewrite everything, but you need to understand that to bring change to a company, you need to like do it slowly. It's never a sprint. If you sprint, you will fail. Like in the sense, like you will not do it properly. There's a reason why this code has grown over the years. There's a reason why nobody wants to change it. There's a reason for like the business logic that was involved in this. And there's also a reason why you need to like discuss with key stakeholders how to better approach this. So, and that's also one of the important things to remember. Like your expectation is probably like you come into a company, you know better, you go to your manager, tell them, okay, I'm going to do this because I know I can do the better. Again, overconfidence in juniors, like way overboard, but you can do that. Again, I did that as well. And then you assume that the manager will say, yeah, go for it, do it. But that's not what happens. You need to like learn how to communicate value of your proposed solution. So for example, if you have this idea how to rewrite that, you need to like really learn how to articulate the benefits that the company will have if they follow your suggestion and build it as you say. Because again, you might assume from the technological perspective, like, yeah, it's going to get better in the sense that maybe it's going to be like 20% faster on a sub-millisecond execution. That's not really maybe important unless they're like a high-frequency trading bot. But keep in mind that technical benefits are not the ones that you need to concentrate on. The business does not really understand those concepts unless you translate that into like some monetary value that they can understand better. Like, okay, if you tell them, if I refactor this, you're going to see like 20% faster load times, which will result in more users not abandoning their checkout or whatever, and which will result in more revenue for the company, so to speak. So keep that in mind. This point is basically like you have the energy, you have the desire to change things. Reality is that it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. It will take a long time to do it properly. Do not rush, because you will fail, and you will you will fail in ways how you will basically forget something. You will disregard some like key business logic that you might have not thought about, that was there, that you might have missed. And that's how I'm saying you will fail. Not like you will fail to write it, but I'm mostly saying that it will not work as expected, and you will need to invest more and more time in it, well until the point where it will not be worth the time invested. So keep that in mind once you want to refactor something. So let's move on to the next point. When you as a junior see the senior developer doing so many things at once, like being efficient and making the company millions, you assume that person is irreplaceable. But the sad reality of that is that all the people are replaceable. So you cannot bind yourself too much, thinking that if you take on some service, if you become like a key person, they will not be able to fire you. The latest waves of layoffs really showcase that everyone can be fired if the VC-funded companies need to prove their hockey stick growth, or like make sure that they're profitable, or like show better numbers to investors. They will fire people regardless how important you are. So keep that in mind, and always like in the back of your head that you need to do stuff outside of your job that helps you like maintain your profile, helps you like keep your skills sharp. And everyone is replaceable. Keep that in mind. Nothing at the company that you do, like for example, if the company has like really bad financial times, they will fire someone. They will fire key people to survive. Like it's nothing against you as a software engineer. It's just like it happens because sometimes, well, money runs out. Sometimes, well, things go not the way you have planned them. And business is like a huge risk. And especially if you're in a startup field, like everything can go from 180, like can go 180, like from today to tomorrow. And you need to keep that in mind and make sure that your skills are top notch. Make sure that you don't spend your time with like dead technologies. Make sure like you're not complacent in your job position where like you come to your job at like 10 a.m. and do nothing for most of the days, like small bug fixes and think that that's okay. Because again, if for any reason, I hope that it doesn't happen, if you get fired, it's going to be very hard for you to rejoin the market if for the last 5 years you did like, well, basically nothing and had your cushy place, so to speak, and you did not grow, you did not like improve yourself or even maintain the same level. So it's really going to be hard for you. So if you have like a job where you're comfortable, still make sure that you're at least keeping yourself sharp. And yeah, that way, if something happens to you, well, you're not going to be like lost when shit hits the fan, basically. So yeah, that's basically it. What I want to say regarding the well, the expectations versus reality for junior to senior growth. And yeah, I'm pretty sure there's maybe a few more that you can think of. And yeah, if you have anything to add, write them in the comments. I will gladly reply to you. I will join discussion and we'll discuss them together. But again, I think the big things are that don't assume that you will have all the answers, because you won't. The easy problems will get easier. The harder problems will still stay. They will still be hard. And eventually, like, you won't be able to work always with the latest tech. You'll have to like get used to working with legacy code. Sometimes maybe you'll get the chance to build something from scratch, but it's not guaranteed and it's not promised to you. So learn how to read code, someone else's code. And try to really have this mindset of like making old better. And you can always do that like step by step. You don't have to like rewrite everything from scratch to make it valuable. And yeah, don't assume that there will be no boring tasks. Don't assume that meetings will be gone and you'll be like focusing 100% on code, because you won't. You'll be mostly focusing on dealing with, well, bureaucracy of a bigger company. The smaller the company, the lesser the bureaucracy, but still it will be there. And the higher you climb the ladder, the more like management stuff you'll need to do, and like the more responsibilities will fall on your shoulders to move the project forward, not just in terms of code, but in terms of like everything. And especially if you're like planning to be a CTO, assume you'll need to like move stuff like across all paths, and not just like the programming one. And it's a huge burden to bear, but again, it's a risk versus reward. And yeah, again, like, don't assume you're irreplaceable. Things go south and not always work out the way that you planned them. But again, you need to understand, like, it's your software engineering journey, regardless of where you work, regardless of if you got laid off or not. Don't be stressed. Just keep your skills sharp. And I want to end this video with a small piece of advice. Basically, do not rush things. Again, from like junior to senior, there's going to be quite a few projects that you're going to do. But keep like, I would like to like give you advice to enjoy the things that you do. Try to find fulfillment in them. It's not really like the destination that matters. It's more like the journey. For example, I'm having fun recording this video. I don't know where this video is going to lead me. I don't know if sharing my knowledge with you is going to be beneficial to me in any way in the future, but I'm having fun doing this. And the same I have at my job. Like all the time I was just building stuff. I had fun building it. I didn't really know like if I'm going to like end up junior or CTO or whatever, like, but I was trying to like find solace in like what I'm doing right now, because again, there's enough stuff to worry about, and I think like enjoying what you do should not be one of those parts that you stress about. So try to enjoy it right now. Don't think about, well, future. You're here, you're now, and yeah, like just build things and get better, and with that you'll grow and become, well, probably a good role model. At least I hope so, with my guidance. So yeah, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see each other maybe in a week or so. I'll see you. Yeah, the next video is going to be probably about software development failures, like why software projects fail. I think I find that fascinating because it's rarely like a technical thing. It's more, well, it's more a human thing, and it's always like, well, I'm going to talk about it in the next video. So see you then, and yeah, have a nice day. Bye-bye.